She lived alone in a small stone room attached to a church wall. One window facing the world, one window facing the altar. That was all she had. Her name was Julian of Norwich. In 1373, at just 30 years old, she became gravely ill. So ill that people thought she would die. She lay for days, growing weaker, until finally a priest was called to give her the last rites. She herself didn't believe she would live to see the next morning. But as she lay there on the edge between life and death, she saw 16 visions of Christ, images so vivid, so strange, that she would carry them with her for the rest of her life, trying to understand them again and again. She survived, and decades later she sat down and wrote down everything she had seen in a book she called Revelations of Divine Love. This is the oldest surviving book written in English by a woman that we know of. After that she shows something that to us might seem almost unthinkable. She became an anchoress. She had herself enclosed for the rest of her life in a small cell beside the church to live entirely in prayer. People came to her window when life became too hard, to ask for her words, for her comfort. Over time, people even forgot her real name. She became simply Julian after the church she lived beside. She lived through the plague, through war, through famine that took neighbors and families, and in the middle of all that darkness, in a life full of loss, she wrote the words we still carry with us 700 years later. All shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. Not someday far in the future, now, underneath everything that feels broken right now. She also wrote, "He did not say to me that I would never be tested, that I would never suffer, that I would never be sick. But he said, you shall not be overcome." She isn't promising us an easy life. She had lived through enough pain herself to know better. What she promises is something steadier than ease. You will be tested. You will grow tired, sometimes completely worn out. But you know what? You will not be lost. And she wrote, "If there is anywhere on earth a person who loves God and is always kept completely safe, I know nothing of it. It was not shown to me. But this was shown to me, that in our falling and in our rising again, we are always held in that same precious love." Even your fall, even that is held by someone. She wrote, "The greatest honor we can give God is to live gladly through the knowledge of His love." Isn't that precious? Not with fear, not with guilt, but with gladness. And she also wrote the words that perhaps touched me most of all. God loved us before He made us, and His love has never diminished and never shall. Before you did anything right, before you became anyone in particular, you were already loved. You were already loved and still are. Still is. Julian of Norwich lived her entire life in one small room from that point when she became an anchorite. From that room came words that have outlasted empires, wars, and 700 years of human pain. If her words mean something for you today, please subscribe for more journeys into the lives of the great mystics. And tell me in the comments which of her lines stayed with you.